Thank you very much. Hi, everyone. My name is Isa. Just a quick word on my team. So here we are. As you said, we're 30 researchers with 5 full professors. We work on technology enhanced learning, which makes us a really big research team on this topic in France. And we're situated in two cities, Laval and Le Mans. Maybe you know Le Mans for its 24-hour car race. Laval, you probably don't know because it's a very small city. It has typical, it's the French type of typical cute city with a little castle and little houses and lots of bread and cheese and that stuff. What I wanted to say is that we have 3 different research axes in our team. The first is designing and operationalizing technology-enhanced systems with teachers. The with teachers is really important. We try to implicate them as most as possible, and this is what we'll be showing actually in this project MIXAP. The second one is basically everything that's related to learning analytics, so observational modeling and track analysis. And the third axis that interests us is everything that's advanced human-computer interactions. So we use virtual reality headsets, augmented reality, tangible objects, all types of tools that we can to enhance learning for all different levels. It can be teaching math at primary school or all the way to professional training in a company or, yeah, it could be whatever. Basically, we work on lots of different types of projects, as probably you do too. I just wanted to set just give you the setting of where I work and maybe start future collaborations. Now, today I wanted to focus on mixed reality for education. So you're all technology enhanced learning savvy, so you probably all know what mixed reality is. I'm not going to go through that again. These are just a few examples. And we're talking about mixed reality for education, and here I'm targeting mostly schools. So one of the things that we're going to use, well, one thing is that we'll use mostly tablets or things that are already available. So I'm not talking about mixed reality headsets that would be way too expensive. So basically, mixed reality applications that you can use on tablets with the available material that you have. And one thing that's cool about mixed reality is the fact that it combines the advantages of digital applications and classical learning. For digital applications, we have the fact that it can show it can make students, it can give access to multimodal activities. So with 3D models, videos, all types of interactions, game mechanics, of course, too, that you can have inbuilt in the app. And you can also have automatic correction or at least feedback, which is great for the teacher because it it takes off all that load, that extra load of having to correct automatically for students who don't need special attention. But what's nice about mixed reality is that you also have access and you can also manipulate real objects, which is very important for learning, especially for children. And you also, the fact that you have tablets and not this virtual reality headset also allows you to have normal classroom interactions where you can interact with other students, so do collaborative work, or also interact with the teacher. So we're not talking about a full immersive application that would kind of cut off the student from the rest of the classroom and the rest of the world. So these benefits for teaching mixed reality, you find these in the literature. There's a lot of work done on that. And we also did a project, well, it's the one in the middle. It was actually one of the projects of my second or third PhD student. And we actually designed a mixed reality application for learning fractions that we tested with in 3 schools with over 500 students. And so we did see these advantages clearly. The fact that you could have automatic corrections, that was great, and the fact that you could still manipulate objects and collaborate with other students. So then the question is, well, if these applications are so great for teaching, then why don't we see them in schools? I don't know how the situation is in the UK, but in France, I've never seen applications, mixed reality applications used in our schools, uh, mm, whether it's yeah, basically all the levels, whether it's primary school to middle school to even university. I've seen just a few applications used in at university level for teaching like specific teaching the body, so for medical training, but that's kind of it. It's still very, very rarely used in schools. So when you look at when you do a state of the art, basically, or you look at everything, I mean, the tools that were designed, whether they're for research or whether they're just in the commerce and available online, you see that there's actually different types of apps available right now. The large majority, I would say almost 80% of the apps out there offer off-the-shelf augmented activities. That means that the content is already made. And well, when you look at it, you can see that, first of all, the content is almost exclusively in English. So for you guys, it's not a problem. But for France, it is a big problem because teachers don't speak French and students don't speak French either. They often require purchase either of a license or of additional equipment. So like the examples that you saw before, you needed to actually buy the globe that comes with it or buy the book, a specific book, so that the app works. And so these applications offer off-the-shelf activities. They're simple to use. They're also made for education, but they have a big problem. They're not editable. You can't change the content. And this is something that might not seem like a problem in the beginning, but I think all of you who have been teachers, if you've already taught something and a colleague gives you the slides of the course, the first thing you do is you change the slides. Otherwise, you can't really use it. You can't make the course yours and feel at ease teaching it. So this editable part, the fact that teachers cannot change the content, is a huge problem that really makes the applications not adoptable in class, even if you have the initial wow effect. Then we also have content authoring tools. So these are authoring tools that allow teachers to create their own content or to edit them. So this is why we have this green. I don't know if you can see I think you can see my mouse. So here, these are editable, but most of the time, these are not tailored for education. So you have apps that are made for publicity, apps that are made for museums, apps that have nothing to do with education. And basically, they only offer the possibility to do one type of very simple activity where you add content on an already existing resource, and that's it. Or you can add like 3D models, and that's it. We do have a few tools that are made for education and that are editable with editable content, but these offer, most of the time they're very complicated. You probably all know Mirage XR. I know Fridolin worked on this project. Do any of you? Yes, I see some thumbs up. So Mirage XR is actually a really cool tool. If you haven't tried it, I highly encourage that you try it. We thought that that was the solution, so we actually tried it out in France. But first of all, it offers a lot of you can modify tons of things. So it's actually quite complicated. The tool itself to use, you probably need several days of training to really master all the different features and functionalities that it has. And you also need the latest equipment. So to be honest, we weren't even able to use it, and we had quite good tablets. So it's impossible to be able to use those in classes where teachers have really old tablets that don't work. sometimes that are blocked. That means that they can't install the apps that they want on them. So this is why there's really a need for something else, something more simple that could be used with the tools that we have in our classes. And we did a state of the art back in 2022. We probably have to update it because things are going so fast, especially in mixed reality and augmented reality. And in the studies, we studied 21 tools, and we identified that there was a really need for simple authoring tools for education, but something that's made specifically for education and that offers different types of activities, but still that stays simple and easy to use, and that can be used on the equipment that the teachers have. This is where we started the MIXAP project, and the objective is to design technology-enhanced systems with and for teachers, and specifically here, mixed reality authoring tools. So to do that, we used a design-based research method. I'm quite sure you all know what the design-based research method is. Basically, there's two big principles. First is you need to work with teachers to design tools that are for teachers, because otherwise you're not going to answer their needs. And the second principle is to test these tools in class. And you don't test them just once, you test them several times. And you see there's this loop. So basically there's the 4 phases. The first phase is the reflection phase, where you start thinking about the problems you can have, what you want to do, what you want to implement. Then there's the co-design phase, where you're going to work with teachers. And actually, there's the design principles. This is where you're going to look at what other people have done. So you're going to do the state of the art. This is what we did the slide before. And work with teachers to find a better solution, to find something that could fit to their needs. Then, since we're in computer science, we implement a tool and we test this tool in classrooms if possible. And then we evaluate what happened. And this goes round and round until basically we don't have any more money, right? Because it never ends. So we actually use this design-based research, but it's kind of vague, right? You don't really know when are you supposed to meet with the teachers, what you do, what you talk about. And so actually through this project and I've had several projects on technology enhanced learning systems, and specifically for designing authoring tools, we came up with a practical implementation of the design-based research method. So I call it the PIDBR. So as you can see, it's a bit more precise. It kind of gives you the meetings, the protocols, what you need to produce, so the production. So even here you have like work prototypes. You also know which documents you need to get ready. Basically, it's a way of making the design-based research method more practical and grounded in what you need to do in a research project to get finished quickly and be effective and publish papers. So I'm not going to detail all of these because it would be too much. There's just 2 things that seem really important. This one, first of all, is that when you're co-designing, I don't know if you noticed, but I added a little loop here. When you're co-designing, you can go through several co-design sessions, and these sessions have to be in person. I think this is really important so that the teachers can actually manipulate, try out the technology-enhanced learning systems that we're talking about, especially for mixed reality. It is so complicated to explain mixed reality online. You're like, okay, this is virtual. No, this is not virtual. You're actually manipulating this. And so the fact that you really need to be in person, and you need to have prototypes, working prototypes, so that the teachers can understand how the technology works and the way that we could use it so that it's actually fits their needs. Excuse me. Okay, so that's the first thing. And the second thing that's really important is the fact that you need to gradually implicate actors. If you have too many teachers in the beginning, you can't get to a consensus. So it's better to start small. Actually, you can even start with like 1 teacher or 2 teachers. But then what's important is that once you finish that loop, you need to bring in fresh blood, excuse me, because they'll have a different insight on what we've been doing, and they'll probably see things that, we're in it and we don't see things anymore. Like, this is not practical at all for using in class, or no, we can't do this. So the fact that we need to gradually implicate actors, I thought was very, very useful to have fresh insight and to make sure that we stay focused on something that's simple to use, because it's the first time they discover this tool. And so they'll be able to say, wait, what the hell does this mean? Or what's this button? And yeah, that was really useful. Now, on top of this works for any type of technology enhanced learning system. If you want to design authoring tools, there's even more complications. And so I came up with these 4 guidelines that you can add. The first one is to implicate a reasonable amount of pioneer teachers. You're probably familiar with this term, or I don't know if you call them pilot teachers. Not really. You say pilot studies, but not pilot teachers. Basically, what we call pioneer teachers are teachers that we implicate in the project and who are willing to participate in the co-design sessions and the experiments that we do in schools, in their classrooms. So it's a real commitment. And what we do is actually we sign a contract with them, and they participate in the design process. They participate in identifying the research questions. I mean, it's really it's really collaboration, basically. So that's the first thing. Implicate a good number of pioneer teachers. I would say from 3 to 10 is the ideal for the beginning. Then you also need to collect a large variety of practices, because if we're working on an authoring tool, we want this authoring tool to work for the largest population possible. So we want to do something that works for school teachers, math teachers in primary school, all the way to history teachers at university, if possible. And so this is what we did. We actually recruited 10 pioneer teachers that had different levels of, they were teaching in different levels and also in different subjects, so that we had a large variety represented within this group. We also need to co-design generic models with the pioneer teachers. So the idea is having models that can fit different types of needs. And the last guideline that I would suggest is to team up with a teacher training institution. This is really practical because, well, in France at least, they put us in contact with the pioneer teachers. They also have experience in what the teachers are faced with and how you can train them. And so they can also help with all the design of the tutorials and videos and things like that. Okay, I'm not going to insist too much on this. I would like to talk about MIXAP. So we actually started this project as a regional project. We were just 3 researchers, well, 2 researchers and 1 postdoctorate. And we had 10 pioneer teachers and 1 teacher training center. And we did, in 2 years of the project, we managed to do 3 iterations of the PIDBR. So doing each time co-design session and testing. The results were that we managed to identify a data set of 18 paper prototypes designed by the teachers. So basically, we asked the teachers, what type of mixed reality activities would you like to do, after making them test a few activities so that they actually knew what mixed reality was. We made them design paper prototype what they would like to do for their classes. So this is a great source of information because it's paper prototyping, so they could do whatever they wanted. Basically, they could imagine whatever they wanted. And then what we did is that we analyzed all of these paper prototypes, and we tried to find things that were the same, that were identical, so that we could then design the types of activities that we would implement in our authoring tool. And I'm actually really proud of the results, because we managed, with this process, we managed to find new ways of using mixed reality that are actually really meaningful for education. And there are new ways that we don't find in the literature, or in other tools. So it means that this process was really valuable. It actually, we found new ways of using this technology. I'll present the different types of activities after, but you can see a preview of them here. So we actually found 4 types of activities and 2 ways of grouping them. We also did experiments with 39 teachers. So there were the pioneer teachers, but also new teachers who were discovering the tool for the first time. So this was useful to know if the tool was easy to use and yeah, just measure what the impact would be if we just gave the tool to the teachers, even if they hadn't participated in the project before. And we also did experiments in 10 classrooms in France. That project finished and it actually went really well. So I went for a second project, which is this time financed by Erasmus Plus program. It's a K2 project, so it's 400,000 euros on 3 years. And this time we have colleagues from Denmark and from Denmark and Turkey. And we also implicated Canopé, so who was they were with us before. They're the teacher training center. So now we have 9 researchers, 30 pioneer teachers. We have 10 in each, well, approximately 10 in each country, 3 teacher training centers. We also have the European SchoolNet. We haven't started our partnership with them, but it's going to start. Just to give you an idea, we're halfway through the project approximately. And we also have one company who joined the project because they were interested in AI, of course. They're all interested in AI. And so they're financing a PhD student who's also working on the project. And so far, we've done 2 iterations of the PI-DBR, mostly to improve the XR. So what we did is that we gave them the tool the way it was before. So it was more like a working prototype, let's say. And we gave the teachers the tool and we said, okay, what would you like us to improve? And they gave us a huge list of things that needed to be improved. We we set that list, we classified them by what was most important, seeing if a lot of people wanted the improvements, then it was prioritized. And basically, we've been doing that. So we've been adding features. We also added 1 activity with AI, and we're preparing experiments in 30 classrooms that should be in April, coming up soon. So here, this is the team. So from Denmark, Turkey, and France. So each country has their own pioneer teachers, which is great because it gives us different perspectives. It's funny how, yeah, they all have different priorities and different difficulties too. For example, in Denmark, we were talking about the fact that in France, we didn't have internet. And so I was very proud to say that MIXAP worked without internet. And they were looking at me like, yeah, so what? We have internet here. So anyway. And in Turkey, they were super psyched by all the AI stuff, whereas in France, they were a bit more, I'm not sure we want to integrate this into our classes. So yeah, they all have different perspectives. So let's have a look at the mix-up activities. That way I can explain what it's all about. So it's designed to be very simple. In 3 steps, you're supposed to be able to do an activity. You take a picture, you start with a picture of your educational material, and it's made to be used with educational material that you already have in your classrooms. As you can see on the bottom, it can work with any type of educational material. It could be a book, it could be a wall, it could be an exercise sheet, or it could even be a real machine, like you can see here. So once you've taken a picture of that, then you can add an overlay of the augmented reality. So here you can add a video, you can record yourself to add an audio description, you can add an information sheet, you can add a 3D model if you have that. And then you finish the activity and you then provide the QR code to the students, and the students can scan the activity with MIXAP. They can scan the object or the educational material, and they will see the activity that you proposed. Basically, that's it. We have 5 different types of activities. The first one is augmented activity, which basically is what I just presented. So you can slide the tablet on an exercise sheet. I'll show you the video again. And then you will see multimedia resources. So here it's a picture. Sorry, stop it. No. It was a picture, a 3D object, a video, and more information. So this is something that you can use for basically anything. And, oh yes, sorry, this is something you can use for basically anything, and this is exactly the type of activity that all the other tools that I showed you before, that they propose this one. What's more innovative is the other types of activities that you don't find in the other tools, or not all the time. This one is called pair association, and basically it validates automatically if you find the right matching pairs. Is this going to start again? Yes. So here, for example, you can use it for math. I'll start the video again. So yeah, here you have to find the right card that corresponds to 2/3. And when you find the right one, well, it corrects automatically. It says, yes, you've found the right one. So you can use this for math, but you can also use this for, I mean, basically anything. You could do something that's way more complicated in technology, for example. Then we have the search and find. Search and find you can use if you have a deck of cards, for example, and you're trying to find el gato if you're working in Spanish, and it will automatically validate that you found el gato, which means the cat. But you could also use it, imagine like on a map of Europe, let's say, and ask history questions. For example, where was this king from, or where was the revolution, where did the revolution start, or I don't know, geopolitical questions. And it will only validate when you find the right place. Just a little information, the teacher can also add the time. He or she can add a timer, and if the student hasn't found the right answer in this given time, then the teacher can also provide hints or extra information to help the student find the right answer. The last, former last activity is the information layer, and it allows you to show overlays, different layers of information that can be activated or deactivated by the student. And the last one is the Ask the AI. So this one is still in beta testing. This is the work of one of my PhD students. So we did a lot of work on this with teachers, because I mean, AI, you can do so many things with AI, right? And so we asked the teachers, we actually proposed 3 types of activities to the teachers with AI, and they identified this one as the most relevant. So this is the one that we're working on. So basically what you do is you can ask questions to the AI with a given set of cards, and we have a card kit that the teachers can pre-generate, depending on what objectives they have and what image they're working on. So here it's the image marker, the educational the educational resource is a map of the world, and here we're working on historical questions. So give me the continent population. Well, not really historical. Could work for history, but it could also be other questions related to, I don't know, Second World War or anything. And so we have, my PhD student is working right now on this card generation that will be automatically generated, but then the teacher can, of course, modify them. And after, the teacher can print these out, cut them up, and then the student will be able to use these cards and point towards the element that he wants on the educational resource to get the answer from the AI. I hope I'm clear. Now, so we have 5 types of educational activities, and these activities can be combined in 3 different ways. The first way is the free exploration path that allows the student to start the activity when they want. So there's a set of activities they need to do in the morning, and they can do the activities in the order that they want. They can also be combined into an auto-triggered path, which means that basically the student's going to go around, and when he sees a resource that's related to an activity, it's going to trigger it automatically. And the last one is the guided path, which allows the teachers to do something where you have to do the activities in a specific order. So if you have to, for example, a step-by-step turning on a machine, they would definitely use this guided path. Or if there's a story, for example, to guide you through a museum, you would definitely use this type. So you can create your own activities, as you can see, but we also prepared an off-the-shelf catalog with a catalog with off-the-shelf activities, because this is something that the teachers expect and they want. So we've been working on this, but it's not completely finished. And here the idea is to provide lesson plans. So not just the activities, but the lesson plan that the teachers can use. And in this lesson plans, it's related to 1, 2, or 3, or a group of activities that can be done. And so the teacher can look for that. I'll show you after our website, print out the material, test and modify the activity. This is important. And then the students can scan it. So now we have this last line that's appeared with MIXAP that has normally editable content. It's simple to use. We've proved that. And it's tailored for education. And I would say the first part is not completely done because so far we have like 2 off-the-shelf activities, but this is planned for the last year of the project, so it's totally normal. If we have time, I would like you to test it yourself. I know I like living dangerously. So the objective, if you want, if you are up to it, you can try. Ideally, you want to use Chrome. So open up your Chrome navigator and go ahead and scan this. Normally, if you scan the QR code, it should open up MIXAP and propose to download the activity that is related to this Colosseum image. So I'll let you download it. Tell me when you're done. Now that you've downloaded it, you can just click on it and visualize, hold it up to the computer and try to visualize this image. So imagine this is an image that the teacher could print out. Well, it should show you lots of augmentations. You should have a 3D model of the Colosseum. You should have Colosseum written text. Try this one. This is the information layer one, so you can scan it. Same thing. Scan with Chrome. Import the activity, and then I'll show you the picture that it's related to. Normally, if you hold your tablet up to this, you should see different layers of the body. Everyone okay? It's just to give you a feeling of what can be done. And well, what I wanted to do, but maybe we don't have time, is for you to try creating a new activity, because that's the whole point of MIXAP. So you can push on create new activity, and in a few steps, you'll be done. Basically, you just need to take a photo of something that's around you. I know no one has any more things that are printed out now. Maybe you have a poster in the room that you're in, or a book or something. Take a photo, and then you can add your augmentation layers. I would suggest going for the augmented activity. That's the first easy one. And then just try it out. So maybe to finish, because my time's almost up. So if you've tried MIXAP and if you like it, it still has a few bugs and things like that. We're working on it. Well, use it by all means. It's free. It's open source. The source code is on. It's available on our website. It's also GDPR compliant. Even for the AI features, we've gotten rid of OpenAI, and we're only on GDPR European applications. And it's also low tech because, as you've seen, you don't even need to install anything. It's a web app. So theoretically, it works on any type of device that has a web browser. So it works on smartphones, tablets, and even computers. And that's it.